So today I'm discussing what is buy now, pay later, and we're going to be looking at this from the UK perspective. So buy now, pay later is something that has been talked about a lot, and you might know it as Klarna, ClearPay, Lay-Buy, or PayPal's Pay in 3. All of these are buy now, pay later products, and they have come with a bit of, story and a bit of controversy, and they've taken over the way that we pay for things. Okay, more and more people are using them. There's more and more available. But what actually is it? This is the Looking After Your Pennies YouTube channel. My name is Charlotte Jessup and I'm a financial educator. Now I've had lots of people talk to me about buy now, pay later, mostly because I've been talking about them on my social media channels such as Instagram and TikTok. Now lots of people love them and I can understand the attraction of this system. Essentially, they allow you to get stuff now and then think about paying for it later, which sounds great in theory, but can come with some pitfalls. So let's start off with what is buy now, pay later. So it's essentially what it says on the tin, okay? It is a case of you can get products now, so it was largely used for online shopping, but now it's becoming more available in shops too. But it enabled you to order stuff now and then think about paying for it later. Now, depending on who you did this with, depends on how you are going to have to pay it back. So some do it monthly, so like every 30 days, some do it weekly, some do it fortnightly. So you take the cost of it and you maybe divide it by 3 and then pay a third of it once a month for the next 3 months. Sounds like a great system. And lots of people love it because it means that they can buy things online, they can try it on. If they don't like it, they can send it back. It can also help people manage their cash flow. So if there's something that you want, but you can't afford to pay for all of it right now, you can actually spread that cost too. It's generally really easy to sign up for this. There's no complicated form filling. The buttons are right there on the pay screen. So a lot of people have turned to this system to actually pay for their stuff. What people don't seem to recognize is that this is essentially debt, and obviously that comes with some consequences. So does it cost you money to use this? No is the answer. For the majority of people, there will be no cost. So if something costs you 30 quid and you pay it over 3 payments, you're going to pay £10 each time and it still costs you 30 quid. There are no additional interest charges or, payments for using this service, provided that you don't miss payments or your payments aren't late. So most of them use this selling point of it's no additional cost, you're just spreading the cost out, no interest, which does sound great. But if you miss a payment, either because you can't afford it or, by accident, then there are some late fees involved. So a lot of the companies will charge a late fee, and from what I've seen, this is around sort of £6, but it does vary from company to company. So if there's a particular one you're looking at, please do go check out what they charge for late fees. For most of them, it also says that they will go to, other lengths to get the money back if you can't pay for it, okay? So if you haven't paid for it, you've bought something and then you can't pay back, they will go through the process of trying to reclaim this money, and then there may be additional charges in that. Not a whole lot of information about this because this is not yet an industry that is regulated. It's going to be regulated soon, so hopefully we'll see a bit more clarity around the processes for missed and late payments. But for the large part, it's a free to use service. You obviously have to pay for the items, but there's no additional costs involved. And then there are some costs potentially involved in late fees. So how do these companies make money then? Well, they basically make money from the suppliers. So, you go online, you go to a clothes shop or something online, and you choose to buy using one of these payment systems. Then that company that you're buying from, that website, will pay for having the option of this, buy now, pay later. Now, the reason that these companies are happy to pay for this option is because all of these buy now, pay later companies are telling them that it encourages people to spend more. And for me, that's a bit of a question mark. Okay, so if they are using that as a selling point, it must really increase the amount that people buy using buy now, pay later services. And I'll talk a little bit in a minute about why this is something you need to watch out for and how you can keep yourself safe when using these services. So they get their fees from the people that supply the stuff, okay? So you go online, you buy a dress, you pay for it with Klarna. The company that you buy the dress from will pay Klarna a percentage of that sale, and that's how Klarna make money, and they make money, the shop, because you maybe bought a dress that you couldn't afford now, but you can using Klarna. So what about, like the credit scores and, how does this impact your getting debt? So most of these companies just do a soft search. So this is they'll look at kind of your details. They may do some assessments for affordability. So for some of them, they might go, in the first instance, you can only have access to £100 through our system. But, as you get into the habit of paying them back and all this sort of thing, they might increase those limits. But they're not going to be doing a hard check. So this means that it's not going to leave a mark on your credit history. Now, this can be good and bad. Like if you're somebody who's working on building up your credit score, you want to buy a house or you want to get a loan for something, then this is probably good news for you. However, because this is not shown on your credit file, when you then go in to do like affordability assessments, you could find yourself overstretched with debt through, these buy now, pay later things. You could end up with hundreds or thousands of pounds worth of debt through these systems that when you then go and buy something else, let's say you want to go and get a personal loan or a car payment, but you're already overburdened with debt and that hasn't shown up on your credit file. So it could leave you in a bit of a dangerous position. So that's something you need to watch out for. It's also worth noting that if you miss payments or if there are late payments, then it is likely that these companies will maybe hand this debt to somebody else for collection, or they will take further action that could lead to an impact in your credit score. So although that, if you're using it as it's intended, so you get something and then you pay it off, according to the timescale that was set at the beginning, then that shouldn't impact your credit score. But if for whatever reason you miss a payment or it's late, then that is likely to impact your credit score, and negatively at that. So how then can you use these services and stay safe? Well, first of all, think about why you're using them. If you can't afford it, then are you sure you're going to be able to afford the payments in the future? If you can't afford it now, then are you going to be able to afford it in the future? So make sure you have a repayment plan and don't hold out on, some windfall or some money that you've not yet got guaranteed. Okay, make sure that you have a strategy in place for dealing with that. Also make sure that you're not overstretching yourself, okay? So the odd purchase here and there, it might be sensible. But if you're doing this for every single purchase, it can quickly become hard to manage. And you could find it impacting on other areas of your budget, such as, like I say, your car payments, your rent, your mortgage, because you're kind of overburdened with too much buy now, pay later debt. And remember, these companies make money because you spend more money because of their services. And if you keep that in mind, think, am I actually spending more? Am I going to, would I have bought that if it wasn't for this Klarna, ClearPay, lay-by, whatever it is? And if the answer is no, then maybe, take it out of your basket. There's not something you want to buy now. Obviously, there are some benefits to this. So if you're the sort of person that likes to buy loads of stuff, try it on, and then send back what you don't want, you can do all of that without having to kind of mess around with refunds, and it all happens before you've even paid for the item. So I'm not saying that these are completely bad products. I think they have a good place in the consumer market that we exist in. You just need to make sure that you are fully informed of the consequences of not paying, you have a plan to ensure that you're going to pay it, and you don't overcommit or overspend. I hope that this has helped you understand a little bit about the buy now, pay later services that are available here in the UK. If you have used these services, I would love to know about your experiences. Please leave them in the descriptions. Good or bad, I want to hear about them all. A big thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.